Dr. James, Small Business Show. Yeah, welcome to the Small Business Network Show. Welcome to Dr. James Small Business Show.
Welcome. Everyone, we're here. Globe Life Park, Arlington, Texas. Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network with co-hosts Brittany Wise and Carol Harper Poe. Miss Carol's not here for personal reasons, and we'll see her next week. We have our expert practitioner, Carla Murphy. How are you doing, Miss Carla?
Good afternoon. All is well. How are you?
Awesome. We have our delivery courier expert, Mr. Sonny. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing well. Glory to the King. He's still doing great things.
That's what I'm talking about. And we have our, last but not least, our jury expert, Miss Carl Steen. How you doing, Miss Carl Steen?
I'm doing well, and I'm very blessed. I hope everyone else is as well.
I love it. So we're going to get into what we're talking about here. We're going to get into character versus circumstance. Miss Brittany, what's the difference from character and circumstance?
Well, when I think character, I think of who you are innately, like who were you born as. Such as if you have a bubbly personality or you kind of more of an introvert or extrovert, that's character. But when you start talking circumstance, that's how somebody is in their current situation.
Got you. Okay. So how do we evaluate each to determine which is which?
Well, you can look at one, if you take a two, and I call it take a two, and you take a step back and you look at where you are, and you can determine your circumstance. So, for example, you might have somebody who may be jobless at the moment. That's a circumstance.
Right.
But they might be hard workers.
Right.
That's the character in them. They might be hard workers, and they have a go-getter, spirit or mindset or character. But right now, they might be jobless.
Got you.
So that's how you determine which is which when it comes to character and circumstance.
I love it. So let's get into self-medicating.
Okay.
So what is self-medicating?
When I think self-medicating, I think of individuals who choose a vice to band-aid a situation. Okay. So let's take trauma abuse, for example.
All right.
If you have, childhood trauma, PTSD, war veterans might have PTSD, and it creates a deep-seated insecurity or hurt or pain, and things that may trigger that hurt or pain, such as, memory or a certain smell or scent, or people will have a relapse or something of that sort.
Right.
To quiet those triggers, people will self-medicate, whether it be drugs, alcohol, food, sex, gambling, TV. All of those are mechanisms to try to quiet the pain as opposed to dealing with it and trying to heal it.
Got you.
And then that's the spiritual and the mental or emotional aspect of it. There's also a physical aspect of self-medicating. So if you think of an individual, if you cut your arm, your body will naturally heal itself, right?
Right.
But if you pour alcohol on it, it really doesn't do any good.
Right.
It just makes it worse, and then it makes it burn, right?
Absolutely.
So that's kind of the same thing.
Right.
You keep pouring salt on wounds and childhood issues, you're self-medicating.
I love it. So experts here, each and every one of you, would you have anything to add to that, to self-medicating or character versus circumstance before we move on?
Yeah, this is Miss Sonny. I'd like to touch on that, especially on the character part. Like I love how Miss Brittany explained it. character is just what makes a person. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I said character is just pretty much like you said. If a person has a bubbly personality, but circumstances can change that, but it shouldn't take away from the character. So I love to add to what she was saying that you are who you are, and that's the makeup of you.
Absolutely.
So that's the beautiful part. And the self-medicating, like you said, some people will try to cover up instead of addressing the issues. Which, if they would address the issues instead of self-medicating it through alcohol, sex, or whatnot, it could be a better outcome.
Absolutely. Anyone else here?
Well, there are some healing crystals that people are using to transform their lives in a metaphysical kind of way. Yeah. And they're trying to find an alternative to self-medicating in a positive way.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. How sweet it is. So we're going to move on to our delivery courier expert.
Mr. Sonny.
Hello? Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I'm
let's
back.
talk a little bit about growth. Since we're talking about character and circumstance, one of the things that it helps your character is growth. So why do you have growth, and what is the importance of growing with purpose?
Growing with purpose is pretty much what gets you up and going. Like you said earlier when you were saying about a go getter, the go get it. It keeps you mobile. It keeps you. I know that if anyone sits down for a long period of time, the blood will be stagnant. Right. So, like I said, when you have that drive and that purpose, it keeps you moving, keeps you mobile. It keeps the blood flowing, the blood of life, which you're providing for your family, inspiring others, being an impact, being a help to others. So I say when you grow with purpose, it's always life. And then even after death, the impact that you left should inspire people to continue to grow with purpose. Don't remain stagnant.
I love it. Yes. Look, I sound like Dr. James now. I love it.
I love it.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is.
That's my word, purpose, Lord. So why do business die so quickly?
They die so quickly because they don't see quick results. And I'm speaking from experience. I never had I might have entertained the deal about throwing in the towel, but I knew nothing happens overnight. So I've been doing my business going on 8 years, and sometimes the job they trickle in, and then every now and then I might get a job that's going to cover for another whole month or so. So I'm grateful, and what I say is that when people who starting out business, whether it be small or big, we understand all businesses and major corporations they started out small, just a step out on faith, and that's the thing about it is that if we step out and we do what we need to do, whatnot. We know we shouldn't let give up or quitting be an option. We should let that make us reevaluate, just like you said about character and circumstances. Don't let the circumstances change your character by what you got in position. Right. I always say, if you're close to the mirror, too close to the mirror, you need to back up, evaluate, and reevaluate so you can change your strategy so you can see greater results.
Absolutely.
I wanted to actually touch on that. So importance of growing with purpose, I believe that's important. Because growing with purpose, there should be 2 to 3 goals of growing, and the purpose need to always be twofold. One, to help people, right? If you make helping people first, then the second one comes with it, which is making money, right? So helping people first, making money, but it's not one and not the other. If you do enough helping people, making money comes with it, but you have to be able to kind of focus on both. So the purpose need to always be helping people and making money, especially if you're going to live from your business. If that's, if you're going to do it on the side, then maybe you can, kind of do something else. But if you're going to do, if you're going to live from it, you have to do both. Why do business die so quickly? Probably because the consistency, which we talks about a lot, the consistency isn't there. on a daily basis. And again, if you have a side business, the consistency doesn't have to be so important when it's a side business. You can kind of get away with doing it here and there, whenever you want to do, stuff like that. But if you're going to live from it, if you're ever going to live from your business, pay bills, put money in your bank, money in your pocket, go buy food, go buy groceries, strictly from your business, there is no other way. It's only consistency every day. There's no some days, maybe when I want to do it, when I feel like doing it, when I think it's better. It's every day, or you're not going to make it, or it's going to, like you say here, die so quickly.
Right. So that's even going back to the consistency aspect of keeping your business afloat. Goes back to your purpose. When you operate, I tell people all the time, when you operate in your purpose and you're doing what you're sitting here to do,
right,
it comes very easy to you.
Right.
Sometimes we want the challenge and the struggle, and we want to go uphill. We want to take the uphill battle. But the reality is, when it's a no-brainer for you to do it and it comes really natural to you, like, you and I, we can speak and we can talk and we just come up with stuff to say, and it comes very natural to us. Not
right,
everybody has that gift.
Right.
But when it comes natural to you, that's you falling in line with your purpose. Okay. And when you do that, your job never really you never run out of stuff to do.
Right.
When you're operating in alignment with God.
Absolutely.
And that goes back to having the business not die quickly.
Right.
Because you're operating your purpose, so you continually planting seeds and you continually moving forward. So if you're enjoying it and you enjoy getting up every day and you don't have to push yourself to do it,
right,
it makes it that much more enjoyable to do.
Absolutely.
So the likelihood of it dying out, as much as I love to dance, there were times where I stepped away from dancing, but life always brought me back to dancing,
right,
because I love it so much.
Right, right.
Come on now.
So, moving on. Well, Ms. Charleston, y'all got something to say? It's a hot topic.
No. I mean, what you guys have said has been wonderful.
Amen. All right,
right
so Mr. Sonny, we're going to talk about efficiency. Ooh, fun word. What makes a business efficient?
What makes a business efficient is pretty much socializing with your customers, like you said earlier, and Dr. James said, it's the opposite. We get out here to help people, and we want to be efficient, because if we focus on, I personally believe that if we focus on more of the help, the money's going to come along with, like Dr. James said. But it's the efficiency, the following up, man, and that's why I love it, because we go by being efficient. We set an appointment, or we all this business and conducting business. We tell our customers, hey, this is what we're going to do for you, and we want to stay to that word. That's efficient, and customers look at that, because their first impression, even their lasting impression, or they're going to continue to do business with us. That's a must for us to be efficient. When we see that we're insufficient, we see worse results.
All right. I agree. Dr. James?
Well, what makes a business efficient is pretty much what we preach, and that's consistency.
Right.
I mean, efficient. And then obviously getting to the goal line the quickest way, the most time-saving way, and the best way toward the customer. I think that's going to be the most efficient way.
So I'm gonna throw a curveball in there just a little bit. One of the things that makes a business efficient is routine.
I like that.
Learn how to
love it.
I love it.
When we go into Walmart, every Walmart look the same, regardless if you're in California, Florida, or Texas.
Mm-hmm.
That's duplication. Somebody mastered the ability to be efficient.
Right.
To the point to where the Walton family, they don't work.
That's right. That's right.
They don't actually have to work.
Right.
But you still see the fruition of the results that was put in place.
Absolutely.
So when you learn to duplicate yourself, then you can kind of sit back and you can look to the right and look to the left and still see money coming in, and you have time to go do whatever it is that you want to do with your family.
Absolutely.
But that's the key ingredient, is being able to duplicate you.
Absolutely.
So, Mr. Sonny, why is it important to meet deadlines? Now, that's one of my favorite words, deadlines. Why is it important to meet deadlines?
And Ms. Brittany, you brought that so beautifully with the routine, because that's pretty much what it's important to meet deadlines. You got to stay in routine. And I learned this when I started out in delivery, especially working for Weir's Furniture for the first 4.5 years.
Okay.
That we had to call our customer and give them an ETA when we were going to arrive so they could be there, so they can get any furniture they needed out the way or whatnot. So it was important to meet deadline because you had people coming home from work or coming home for their lunch break to meet us and whatnot. And I've seen the repetitions of us doing that, and I see, customer satisfied. They gave us tips way over than what we delivered. But I was grateful for that. That's why I say it's so important to meet deadline, because when you set an appointment, it's easy to reschedule. But when you have to call and say, hey, something came up, I'm not going to be able, a person that's doing business with, they might not be able to reschedule. They might just take their business elsewhere, and then that's the purpose. I mean, that's the punishment of not meeting deadline, because someone will take that business because you left a bad taste in their mouth.
Right. So, Ms. Carla, what do you think about this question?
Yeah.
Why is it important to meet deadlines?
Well, thank you, Ms. Brittany, for asking. I think that it's important to meet deadlines because I'll connect it with purpose. And with meeting deadlines and fulfilling purpose, I believe you have to have prayer and you have to have a plan. And those deadlines will help you to accomplish the goals that you've set out, which will help you to fulfill your purpose and will help you to complete the plan. So meeting deadlines, if a deadline is missed, it can hinder progress. And so it's always important to have a prayer, have a plan, so that you can progress and fulfill your purpose.
Absolutely. I love it.
I love it.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is. You know what? I have a question that I want to ask Miss Brittany, but I'm going to ask her that question next. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. James, host of Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network, broadcasting live each week on Saturday at 1 p.m. from Fishbowl Radio Network Studios at Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas. Log on to hear us talk about and feature small businesses and the life of a small business, the struggles, the triumphs, the daily operation, the grind of starting and running a small business. So be sure to log on each week on Saturday at 1 p.m. to catch Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network. Let's jump in.
Hello everyone, my name is Carol Harper Poe of Carol's Publishing Company, the founder and CEO. I'm glad you stopped by today. We got some treats for you today. Talking about treats, it's October. And what's in October? Halloween for the little children. I have a MP4 of Ghosts and Goblins in the House book. One of my books of 14 Carol's Publishing Company published. 13 of those 14 books. And Ghosts and Goblins is one of them. One of them is special. You can hear my voice narrated on Halloween. How about that? And also, I have 2 podcasts. One shows every Friday. You can hear it every Friday on Anchor.com and Spotify.com. CDH Podcast, Tell It Like It Is, Be Real. That's only on Friday now. The other one is once a month. It's called CDH Predestined Podcast. That podcast is, if you're thinking about writing a book, want to write a book, are you an author already? Your books are in the stores and you want to brand your company or your book. I have also had the honors of having a couple of ladies on there already. So you won't regret it. Also, social media, Facebook, Carol's Publishing Company, YouTube, Carol's Publishing Company. Also, Twitter, Instagram, all out there on LinkedIn. I'm everywhere. My website, caroldharper.com. My phone number, 469-778-8682. Operators are waiting just for you to call me or to email me at Carol's Publishing Company 17@gmail.com. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye now.
the greatest heights. Jump down and have a fight. And that's all we'll ever like. But that can never change my mind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. I wouldn't have it another way. There's no other way. Yeah. When it hurts like this, when it hurts like this. When it hurts like this, we hold each other high, but we fall 1,000 times. But I'd never say goodbye or ever leave this stuff behind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. I wouldn't have it another way. There's no other way. Yeah. When it hurts like this. When it hurts like this. When it hurts like this.
All right, when it hurts like this. We are back. Arlington, Texas, Globe Life Park. Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network. Miss Brittany, I have a question before we move forward. I want to ask you, how do we avoid self-medicating? I'd like to know that.
Okay, well, I guess when it hurts like that, it got to fall in line with the song. You did that on purpose, didn't you?
That's right.
So how do we avoid self-medicating? Well, first we got to make a decision that we're going to heal and not fall in the trap of addictions or
Right.
vices, okay? My childhood, for those that don't know, I've seen quite a bit. I've seen my mother abused. My brother pulled a gun on my mom and my sister when I was 8.
Oh, man.
I've seen a lot.
Right.
And my father was addicted to drugs, and so only time I saw him is when my brother came, when he would come to buy drugs for my brother.
Right.
So seeing fiends and, being around that and, my life, that was laid out for me. You know,
Right.
it was easy. It would have been very easy to go down that path.
Right.
But I made a very strong and conscious choice that I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
I'm not going to be a product of what I saw.
Got you.
And I was able to avoid addiction of all sorts throughout. I didn't never fall under peer pressure. I didn't want to try nothing.
Right.
So I had to make a conscious decision at a very young age, and I stuck with that decision. And now here I am. But also, to avoid self-medicating, prayer is a strong part of that.
Right.
The spiritual alignment with understanding who you are and who God says you are and seeing yourself the way God sees you
Right.
is a strong way to walk throughout this life.
Absolutely.
And it keeps you from being addicted or connected to earthly things like drugs and alcohol and sex and pleasurable seeking activities. You also want to get an understanding of why you went through what you went through. If we're talking in terms of mental health,
Right.
and trauma and abuse,
Mhm.
find the purpose in the pain. Find the understanding of why you went through that. Why did I have to see this? Why did God protect my mind
Right.
from, all the things that I've seen and not have me go down that road? What is the purpose in that?
Right.
Usually it's a testimony that you're a living witness for somebody else, that regardless of the hand that you was dealt, you can be what you want to be. You can, and it's being that beacon or that lighthouse of hope in a sea of darkness.
Right.
So having that understanding will help you avoid those vices and those things that can be strongholds on
Gotcha.
your spirit.
Okay. Cool. Gotcha. Awesome. So we're gonna move on to our jewelry expert, Miss Carl Steen. We're gonna talk about monthly birthstones. Miss Carl Steen, what is the gemstone for February?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Dr. James, because I didn't really go over the birthstone for January. So let me just touch on that real quickly since we're at the end of January. And then we'll move forward to February and we'll talk about that gemstone. So, our gemstone for January is garnet. And garnet is said to be the gemstone of Aquarius. And it provides you with a lot of energy to recharge your inner battery and to help you revitalize that physical and emotional that we've been talking about today. There has to be a balance between that and the spiritual. So garnet is actually excellent for that, and it also enhances your fame and fortune. So if that's the case, I need to wear garnet every day, all day, on every part of my body.
Amen.
Amen. That's what I'm talking about.
Me too.
Amen.
Where we get some of that at?
Now, it does come in a variety of colors, but most people know it as a red stone. And so, that blends in with those people who believe in spiritual healing and they deal with the chakras because they say that that is one of the stones of the lower chakra. And so if you're a believer in that, on your journey to spiritual health as well as emotional and physical, you might want to find out more about garnet.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Any questions about that?
Well, we listening to your gun smoke. So
Yeah, too.
no questions
has
from
to.
me,
Yes.
but I don't want to mess up this word though. What color is
Amethyst.
amethyst? Okay, I didn't want to mess that up.
Amethyst. It is amethyst, and amethyst is a purplish colored quartz, and so it's one of the what they call the master healer stones, and it provides you with a lot of help in opportunities to try other methods of healing. Amethyst is also known as the zodiac gem sign of Pisces.
Okay.
Okay, I love it.
Dr. James,
It
what's
helps
Pisces?
with arthritis
Yes,
in your pains and in joints.
I love
So
it.
you definitely want to get yourself a piece of amethyst. And they say tape it to those parts of your body that are causing you undue pain and see how that works for you.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
But it's all bound up also with your spirituality.
yeah,
You have to have an open mind.
Yep. The stones, it all kind of ties into everything. It's funny how everything connects and we're all a part of each other as well as the planets. So Dr. James like to talk about the astronomy
right.
and how our body is made up of minerals and potassium and
Yes.
everything works together. So
Absolutely.
the crystals and the stones, they're also from the earth. They're healing properties that we use within our bodies because our bodies are made up of these stones and these crystals.
That's great. That's great. So, Miss Carlstein, what is
They're
a crystal?
used in computer technology. Did
That's
you
right.
know that?
That's right.
Yep.
So, our next topic is crystals, right?
Yep.
So, what makes
Yes.
so what makes the amethyst an important crystal?
Well, it's important because the Greek it comes from the word krustallos. Krustallos is the Greek word for a clear quartz. and they said it looked like an ice cube. And so since it's similar to an ice cube, that they called it ice. And like I said, this is a healing stone. It's called one of the 12 love stones that helps purify negative emotions. It helps you to learn to love again and again, because let's face it, it's very difficult to love again once you've been hurt. It takes some healing. It takes some time. And so this stone is one of those stones that help you learn how to love again.
You need to have these stones ready for Valentine's Day, because all you got to tell people is, hey, these stones will help you love again.
I agree.
Yes,
Gunsmoke.
We certainly
Gunsmoke.
need to get involved in that.
So what does it mean, master healer?
Well, there are several stones that they consider master healers, and you can place them over different parts of your body, and they are really pull in the energies, and they help with your healing process. As long as your mind is open, you're experiencing some channeling, they consider that to be a master healer stone.
Okay, awesome. Ms. Charleston, you've given a lot of valuable information on stones and crystals and birthstones. I'm still learning it, so I'm glad you're on the phone with us, so you can teach me some more information, because I'm starting to research it a little bit, so I'm really going to have to reach out to you, our expert, to get more information.
Well, these things are important to us because they do resonate sound, too. They can, you have two crystals, they can have sound between them. We use it in technology. It's very important to our lives. Yep. So we need to incorporate it more in our jewelry.
Absolutely. So we're going to get back with Ms. Carla, our expert practitioner, and she's going to talk more about technology and technophobia after this break.
Hello, everyone. I am Dr. James, host of Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network, broadcasting live each week on Saturday at 1 p.m. from Fishbowl Radio Network Studios at Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas. Log on to hear us talk about and feature small businesses and the life of a small business, the struggles, the triumphs, the daily operation, the grind of starting and running a small business. So be sure to log on each week on Saturday at 1 p.m. to catch Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network. Let's jump in.
Legacy Services offers state-of-the-art entrepreneurial services. We specialize in meeting the needs of the client and building a blueprint for you and your company based off your needs, your education level, and your business goals. Our services are designed with you in mind. We truly are a business concierge. Our goal is to guide you and assist you in turning your passions into profits. With over a decade of business experience, we strive to not only set a foundation for the client, but also offer our expertise in coaching services. We're with you every step of the way. Choose an organization that values morals, ethics, integrity, hard work, and experience. Book your consultation with us today and receive 50% off using promo code I'm Ready. Contact us at legacyservices.com. LEGACI services.com. Or you can contact us at 214-774-7503. And you can reach us on all social media platforms, legacyservices.com. Take care.
I go to war, I fight for you. Even when I've left, I do right by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky. I'll be your everything, your blue sky. Forever love for the moment and all your pain to be broken. See, when I look in that smile, all your beauty is spoken. I love the vibes that you carry. I see the spark of your motion. And when I see that you're down, I put the waves of your ocean. I'll be the first to admit, I know I have a lot of flaws, but nothing you couldn't fix. You're gorgeous, from your mind to your heart, straight to your hips. I want that never-ending ride, so baby, get with the script. We're on a different route, show me what you're all about. Tears coming from your heart, shorty, I can cause a drought. See, I ain't with that shit they say, and I can prove it with my mouth. And lately you've been stuck in stress, but baby, I'ma pull you out without a doubt. So give me everything, and I promise I'll put your home in the tropics. And maybe one day we'll marry, there ain't a soul that can top you. And if you fall, then I got you. Just know I'm there when you drop it. To change your world and your optics, to change your world and your optics.
I go to war, I fight for you. Even when I've left, I do right by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky. I go to war, I fight for you. Even when I've left, I do right by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky.
I'll be your everything, or everything I can. To me, you're perfect, ain't a thing that I would ever change. I love your smile, I love your shape, I love your pretty face. Everything about you is enough to go brighten my day. We met a year ago, this year has turned my life around. When I was at my lowest, man, I could've picked myself off the ground. You helped me with that, show me that I'm not alone. You know that I'm your Clyde and you're my Bonnie that cannot be broke.
I go to war, I fight for you. Even when I've left, I do right by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky. I go to war, I fight for you. Even when I've left, I do right by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky. I go to war, I fight for you. Even when I've left, I do right by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky. I go to war, I fight for you. Even when I've left, I do right by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky.
I'll go to war and fight for you, for sure. We are back, baby. Arlington, Texas, Globe Life Park. We back.
Yep. So, Miss Carla up in Buffalo. We're going to talk about technophobia.
Yes.
What is technophobia?
So, Ms. Brittany, technophobia is basically, simply put, the fear of technology. Surprisingly, it's very common. The fear, a strong dislike of advanced technology or complex devices, particularly with computers, and now we know with cell phones and tablets as well. Even the computer systems within some of our cars. It really can be where it's small amounts of nervousness, which can just compound every time we are confronted with technology, and so it can be somewhat challenging. It definitely is not specific to age groups. Even people in their 40s and 30s can be a little bit challenged and nervous and anxious when it comes to dealing with technology. And that's been proven by so many people working remotely and working from home during this pandemic. And so the fear of technology, it really can manifest in a lot of different ways. It can negatively impact people's work life and their personal life because of their fear. And so we know that it can happen not only in the home, it can happen in the workplace, it can happen in the church, in the community, and people may feel incompetent. However, surprisingly, we often know more about the use of this technology than we acknowledge that we do.
Okay, all right. So how can you overcome your fear of technology?
The best way that I would say to overcome the fear of technology is through education. If people are afraid of using computers, if they're afraid of getting hacked or their information getting stolen, we have to think about it can happen anywhere. If we think about how it happened before with Target, where people's cards may have been compromised. But if we educate ourselves, we can learn to avoid some of the threats. We can be careful in how we handle the information that we have and how we use it. Aside from offering our personal information, we can also be mindful that when we're utilizing different websites or when we're connecting to public Wi-Fi, that it can cause certain risks for us. And so we have to just be careful. Another thing we can do is to get excited. This is an exciting time where we're able to do a lot of different things, and some things can be more advanced because of technology. So we can learn those new skills. Learning technological skills is like learning a new language. So some of the basic terms, such as internet or application or malware or software, those are basic terms that we really should take a little time to become familiar with. If we're feeling overwhelmed, I believe that through education and building our vocabulary, we gain a greater understanding of how to utilize technology. And that can be from reading or from taking a class or even from hands-on learning. So it's important to forget about our age and try to just stay current and move with the times, because technology is not going away. It's just becoming more and more advanced, and it's becoming more common to us, and it's a part of our daily walk.
Right. You actually said a powerful word in learn. A lot of times when you want to overcome a fear, you need to learn about what it is that you're afraid of. And then you'll find that it's not as bad as what you think it is. So you want to learn about technology instead of avoiding it, because you're right, it's not going away. Like it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Right.
So it's best to just try to change with the times as much as you can. But when you have the understanding of, having this app on your phone and they want to have access to all it, you don't really have to give them all that access. Then it kind of makes it make you go, oh, okay, I don't need that part. I had a patient who you talked about the terminology in the technology, the terms that we use, and he said the word default. What does it mean to you? And this man was 85, 90 years old or something like that. And he said, what does the word default to you mean? And I said, that's the basic standard settings on the computer. And he said, okay, when you go to the bank, what does the word default mean? I was like, I can see how, learning the terms would be okay, wait a minute. If you're not familiar with it, you really are speaking a new language. So let's move on. I thought that was funny, but let's move on to the next topic, Ms. Carla. Let's talk about online video conference etiquette. Ooh, this is a fun one. What are some online video conference platforms?
I would say that some of the most used are Zoom, Skype, and Microsoft Teams, where people can gather, whether they're meetings or community, and they can have meetings, they can have events, they can have fundraisers. So those are some of the more popular platforms. No doubt there are many others.
Right. I actually found that during this pandemic, a lot of people have been excited about having Zoom meetings, mainly because, as entrepreneurs, we want to go to all the events and go to all these different things, but you don't really have the time or the resources to drive to said location for every event. But if you can just sit in your living room and you can log into this one and then log out of that one and then log into another one, it makes learning that much more successful for a lot of people. But Ms. Carla, what are some best practices for online video conferencing?
Well, I really like this part of it, Ms. Brittany, so thank you for asking me that. It's really good to use the video option when possible. Also, people should dress for the job that they have, not wearing their pajamas. It will help you to feel better. It will help you to present better. It's good to stage your video area. So perhaps you switch it up sometimes. It makes it more interesting, or you use a certain background, whether it be one they have on the computer or whether you set your own or use a green space. You should take into consideration using light. Having light will definitely help to show a better picture. And so you should look into the camera as best as possible and not just try to look all around. Obviously, we do have to turn our heads. It's healthy to do that. But really, you should focus by looking into the camera, particularly if it is your turn to speak. It's good to learn a little bit about the technical parts of it and the features of the platform that you're utilizing, such as how you can enter comments into the chat space, or else how you can share your screen. So those are just a couple of points. Another thing is to stay on mute if you're not talking. Background noises can be extremely distracting and disruptive. So it's really important to stay on mute if you're not talking, unless there have been other directions that have been given. It's also nice and courteous not to eat during the meeting because people are watching. And so it's good to not do that or to do other private things while you are being viewed. You should, most importantly, stay focused. I know that it's difficult. I know that we sit on a lot of Zooms and Teams meetings, but it's important to stay focused and only invite people who need to be there. Obviously, those platforms can hold a lot of people, but it's really good to focus on your purpose and to have people who only need to be there. And then one last thing that I want to say is that the host should be the last person to leave the Zoom or the Teams meeting or the Skype. It's just polite, it's respectful. And once we learn these different principles, it will help us to manage our meetings better. It will help participants to feel valued and to feel like they're not wasting their time. So they will leave and they will feel that they gained something from it just as much as they gave to it. So those are just some points that I wanted to share regarding etiquette for those platforms.
How sweet it is. I love it. I love it. Well said, Miss Carla, expert practitioner. Well said.
Thank you, Dr. James.
I love it. I love it. We are getting to the end of our beautiful show here, and we have something for the listeners and the viewers. So obviously we always talk about using our services, from Miss Brittany's legacy services to Dr. James's MBC's list, and so on and so forth, to Miss Carol's publishing company, to Mr. Sonny's delivery courier, to Miss Carl Steen's jewelry, and to Miss Carla's business development business, and more. You use any one of our services and spend over a certain amount, and trust me, they will let you know. You either use us twice or spend over a certain amount one time, and you will get a $200 gift card just for using our services. Again, a $200 gift card just for using our services. So anyone want to use any of our services, we want to be able to help you. Message us on this Facebook Live or the phone number that you see. Call and let us know. Obviously, my number is 469-765-5327. And Miss Brittany's number is
214-774-7503.
And Miss Carl Steen number is... Miss Carl Steen, are you here? We seem to have...
I'm here.
Okay, you want to give out that number?
469-267-1099.
And Mr. Sonny's number is 469-515-4172. And Miss Carla, your number is?
716-553-3109.
Woo, love it. Love it. Thank you guys for coming. We'll see you next time, and have a great day. And hey, listen to our Gunsmoke. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. James, host of Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network, broadcasting live each week on Saturday at 1 p.m. from Fishbowl Radio Network Studios at Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas. Log on to hear us talk about and feature small businesses and the life of a small business, the struggles, the triumphs, the daily operation, the grind of starting and running a small business. So be sure to log on each week on Saturday at 1 p.m. to catch Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network. Let's jump in.
Welcome to the Small Business Network Show. Welcome to Dr. James' Small Business Show. change.